And I've learned a lot of lessons, but to me that, I love that people can grab me here or there on different issues. And, it forces you to be engaged and forces you to take part in, it's given me a better perspective as to really what I think the direction the city should go in, things like that.
Hello, my name is Michelle Poetica Richardson, and I am here at PTV today interviewing some of the candidates for this year's election here in Peabody. And boy, do we have a selection of candidates for you. Today, I am blessed that one of the candidates just so happens to be the mayor of the city who I went to school with. Hello, how are
Michelle,
you?
how are you doing? It's great to be with you.
Likewise. So this election, you have somebody running
Yes.
Against you, and I know that sometimes these things take the focus off of what's happening right now in our city. So in our city, we have a lot of things going on. We have constructions, projects in the works, projects that are coming. But before that, I know you, but people that are looking might not know you. So who are you, sir?
My name is Ted Bettencourt, and I've been very fortunate and blessed to be mayor of the city for the last 12 years. It's a job I love. I really feel like we're making some positive improvements in the city. More to do. We're far from perfect, but I think we've made some good strides over the years, and I'm very hopeful and excited about some projects that are coming up. Yeah. But the important stuff. I'm married, and my wife and I, Andrea, have 4 beautiful children. Taylor is my oldest. She's actually graduated Peabody High School this past June, and she's going to Endicott College. She's hoping to study maybe psychology. She wants to work with kids. My daughter, Allie, is going to be a junior at Peabody High School. My daughter, Avery, is going to be going into her high school this year, as a freshman. And then my little guy, Brady, is going into kindergarten. So I have a pretty wide range, and I love it. I love I love what Peabody stands for. To me, it's always been about family. I was raised here with my parents, and we were heavily involved in the city and sports and different things. And I just signed up to coach soccer and little league and all that fun stuff.
Oh my goodness, that's exciting!
It is exciting. So
there's
getting
no
ready
chance
for that.
Anybody to see you anymore.
I know. I'm a moving target, hard to hit.
I see that.
But I love that. I love being involved, and I want to be with my kids as much as possible.
Yeah, and the coaching thing is great because what better way to just be in the community, right?
Right.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So now tell me a little bit about your work. A lot of people don't really know what it's like to be a mayor. And I think sometimes there's even a sense of entitlement that comes with constituency when it comes to their needs versus your ability to give, when it comes to time and even conversation at times. Like, people don't know that what it takes to be the mayor.
Right.
Like the weight that you carry. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's amazing. A lot of people don't realize how big the city of Peabody is. We're 16 square miles, which is really hard to define, but we're much bigger than Salem, land-wise, much bigger than Danvers, Beverly, and even population-wise, we're much bigger. We're about 55,000 people, and being a pretty large city in Massachusetts, there's always things happening. My focus is always I always try to keep my eye on education and public safety, and then kind of branches off of that, the other items. But we have so many different departments in the city, so many good, talented people working for the city. It's great. But those are kind of the 2 areas I feel like to be a strong city, you need to have a very strong educational system.
Absolutely.
And you need to have public safety, police officers, firefighters, emergency management team, health department that really cares for the city and is up to date and working with people. So that's kind of my focus, and I try to work off of that. Our public works department, extremely busy. We have 3 libraries, we have a golf course, we have 2 farms, senior center that's very active. So I'm very lucky and that I have a lot of people that really are talented working around me. I try to, as best I can, support all the different departments, but you need good people, and thankfully we do.
Yeah, it shows. We have a museum now.
Yes.
Children's Museum on Main Street. That's insane. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your tenure, right, to be in office in 12 years, for 12 years, it's a statement. Right. What would you say is perhaps your proudest moment as mayor?
So, well, thank you. And it's amazing to me when I say that I've been mayor 12 years. It's amazing to say that. I just remember taking the oath of office the first time. There's been some proud moments for me on a personal level and for the city. When when we opened the doors to the brand new Higgins Middle School. That was a very proud moment because I felt that was holding us back educationally, that building. The new science labs we have, the new technology, just the open space and great feel that I think you have at the atmosphere at the middle school has made a difference. A lot of the work we've done here has been very exciting for me in our downtown area. I was a lawyer. I was not a happy lawyer. I was a lawyer, and my office was right on Main Street. And I always felt that there was real potential in our downtown, but that we hadn't taken the steps we needed to. And the biggest thing holding us back was we couldn't handle rainstorms and water. We were flooding continually on every major rainstorm, and I never want to say that we've completely solved that problem or fixed it, but we've made some great investments. We've built some ponds, literally man-made ponds that hold water. We've done some cleaning that we do on a routine basis, and we hold up very well now to water. And I've always felt like people were not going to invest into the downtown with that concern, and we needed to invest in ourselves. So we put forward a lot of money through state grants and some city funds to make a difference. And now we have this beautiful Children's Museum, which is also a very proud moment for me. Personally, we've been working for a number of years, but also some real investment now, residential and commercial, which is important. The other thing, and it's not something that's really exciting to talk about, but we have completely rebuilt our water infrastructure. We have our own water system in the city. We take very little water from outside, so we control our pricing and all of that, which I believe is the lowest around. Yeah. But we built 2 water treatment facilities. We put in all new piping, and we're utilizing our own natural resources, which is good. So it's not an exciting project, but for the next probably 50, 60 years, our water system is in really good shape. Water obviously is among the very most important things, but a lot of people don't think about it. They turn their faucet on and it's there. They take it for granted. So that's something that I'm very excited about too. And just some other capital projects. Next year we're going to be starting Central Street, which is probably the worst street in the city right now. And it's going to take a couple of years, but it's going to be a beautiful corridor into Peabody Square. So I'm excited about that as well.
I'm excited. I'm hearing you talk about this and I can't wait to see it manifest. Like, for those that are tuning in, you hear our mayor now speaking of the flooding that used to happen here. And many of you may not really know and understand what type of flooding. I mean, people were in kayaks
right.
in boats on Foster Street. Like, I remember that. So, like, this was a serious issue. And I, for one, think it's beautiful that it's being addressed and that it's come a long way.
Yep.
I mean, Main Street looks nothing like it looked like when we were kids.
Yeah.
So for me, this is a huge statement as well.
Thank you.
And, we got to balance things out, so we've spoken of your proudest moments and your moments of joy. What have been, besides COVID or within COVID? I mean, I think COVID's everybody's go-to.
Yeah.
But COVID was a minute ago. You were still in it. As mayor, what has been perhaps one of the most challenging, difficult moments for you?
We only have 15 minutes.
I know. Cliff Notes version. And,
and
then they can come see you coaching and have a conversation.
Yeah, that sounds good. There's many. There's, certainly I feel that I and my team have been able to make a lot of good decisions for the city, but there's things I wish I could have back and decisions that, I didn't do the right decision on that. One was we were just talking about it this morning, is a few years ago we were trying to invest in solar panels. We were working with a company to try to find locations for solar panels, to try to make, an energy investment and a new initiative. And we started making plans for different locations. And one thing I didn't think through really was the impact it would have on some neighborhoods in that area. We were talking about cutting down some trees and doing this and that. And, I didn't really fully grasp what that would mean to some neighborhoods. And there was opposition, and deservedly so. And I ended up just withdrawing the plan because it wasn't well thought out. I didn't do a good job of really vetting it and talking to neighbors and things like that. And it kind of taught me an important lesson about making sure, I'm engaged with neighborhoods to understand their needs and things. So that was just one example. And we were just talking about it this morning because we're still hoping to have some solar panel farms in the future and things like that. I feel we need to do more with our landfill. There's some potential opportunities with our landfill. And then just some regular everyday decisions. Certainly I make a lot of decisions every day. And like I said, I think I've made more good ones than bad ones, but I always try to hire the right people. I always want to invest in the right spots. It's hard, Michelle, because, we'll have, let's just say $1 million. And we want to invest in the city in some way. So I'll talk to the fire chief, and the fire chief will say, well, Mayor, we need a new fire truck. And a fire truck costs $1 million. I'll say, okay, police chief, what are you thinking? And, he'll say, we need this. And
we need a new mobile command center.
We need we need a training facility.
Yeah.
And then I'll talk to our superintendent or our park and rec director, and, everybody will have ideas. And, it's hard to make those decisions ultimately as to where the funds are going to go. So that's always challenging. And, I feel really good about our direction and where we're going, but there's things I wish I could have back.
So I gotta say, it's refreshing to hear you say that, because oftentimes, especially somebody that's been in office for a long time, that comes also with a sense of entitlement. Like, I don't need to answer to nobody. I'm here.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, because it takes a lot to say these things. And I think for the viewers to see, the humanity. And I feel like when you're in a position of power, like mayor, like chief of police, chief of the fire department, like the humanity is gone.
Yeah.
And you become the suit or the uniform. And I think people should know how many decisions you have to make a day.
Yeah.
How many people you have to listen to and go through to get something done that you want to get done. Like people, it's not one lane, and it's not that simple. And I think it's important for people to understand that.
Well, Michelle, it's interesting because, I feel like obviously a president or a senator or a governor, they're isolated in a lot of ways. I mean, I go to the supermarket, I eat at Land and Sea, I eat at Giovanni's, I'm down the parks all the time with the kids. So, and people are wonderful to me. Like, I even, always very respectful if I'm coaching. They're not asking me about this issue or this issue. So, but I think that forces you to be engaged and involved. And, and I've learned a lot of lessons, but to me that, I love that people can grab me here or there on different issues. And, it forces you to be engaged and forces you to take part in, it's given me a better perspective as to really what I think the direction the city should go in, things like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's wonderful. And I can't thank you enough. This was amazing to interview you today. So but I want you, if you had one thing that you could say to the people watching, why you're the right choice, why they should vote for you. Like what should give them a reason to put in that vote to give you another term? What would you say?
Well, I think that I've provided stable leadership and also compassionate leadership. I feel that I think people see that I really care about the job, care about the city, even though I make some mistakes here and there, that people know I'm trying the best I can, and I want to continue to do that. I'm excited about some upcoming projects, and I really want to see them through and continue the investment. Now, I mentioned the Central Street project, which I really think is going to be a transformational project for our downtown area, making it safer, making it more attractive, a number of levels. But also a couple of big projects that I foresee coming in the very near future. One is a new public safety building.
Okay.
Our police station is very outdated. Our fire stations, need some assistance. So we're working on now, and it's just in the planning stages, but of a new public safety building, which would be a police station, a fire headquarters, not an operating fire truck, but a fire headquarters, and then an emergency management health component to it that I think would really meet the needs of the city. And policing has changed a lot, emergency management has changed a lot, so I'm excited about that. And then the other one, the big one, is certainly the Peabody Veterans Memorial High School, which we
have
can
to have
remember.
A whole conversation about
yes,
that.
That could be its own show.
Oh my God!
But we're Tanners. We know that building. Thankfully, there was a lot of good people and good teachers there, but the building is really outdated. So we're getting very close, I think, to getting approved for either a new school or a major renovation. I think there's probably parts of the school that we need to look at to see if could be worked into a future project. But I think a lot of the building has to be replaced. A lot of the academic wing, new science labs, things like that. So that is something that I think the city needs. When I became mayor, I felt I had a terrific opportunity to really make a difference, because I felt that the infrastructure in our city, our buildings, our roads, our bridges, things like that, were not tended to. And we hadn't made investments in infrastructure. And I felt that needed to be done. The good part is, obviously all that type of work costs money, but we have the lowest taxes in Essex County. We have the lowest water bills, the lowest electric rates. So I think we're investing properly, but also keeping an eye on the bottom line, because I know that people struggling and taxes, go up. And I want to make sure that Peabody's an affordable city for people. But I also want Peabody to have the necessary buildings and necessary programs to be successful. So it's a balancing act, but I feel real good about the future, and I'm hoping to be able to continue, and I'm hoping to get the support from the city.
I I wish you the absolute best, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Michelle.